Hey, how's it going, YouTube and fellow Planeswalkers? It's Vampire Nighthawk 2011. Today I'm bringing you another Magic the Gathering video. Today what I'm going to be bringing you is an updated version of my Mono Black control deck. You can see the original version of this deck also on my channel under the Black Plague, Smallpox, Mutilate control deck. Since then, this deck has changed very much. The deck before this update that I'm about to show you, it never did horrible, but there was also like so much potential that it could have been doing just to increase the control aspects of the deck. And I think I really hit it home, especially with this updated version of it. But yeah, it's called Master of Puppets now. I've pretty much named all of my Magic the Gathering decks after metal songs. I'm a big fan of Metallica, Motionless in White, and just bands like that. So a lot of my decks have been named after songs of theirs just as inspiration. But here it is. We'll start off with the basic lands, which are just all the lands really that are within the deck. We have 18 basic swamps, and we have one ghost quarter, which is our land control. I didn't really see a need to put more than just one in there. It's just a small way to keep some good land control, especially against people that use a lot of dual lands but not very many basic lands. It's a good way to take care of those. Then we'll move on to our creature base, and we have 3 fume spitters. Good way to just sacrifice, take something small out. We have, I believe, 2 big game hunters. Great card. Quick destruction of a creature that is power 4 or greater. Its madness cost is 1, so if I were to discard it, which will come in handy with cards like Smallpox or Liliana of the Veil, which are in this deck. So instead of discarding it, I just pay the madness cost. It comes out into the battlefield, takes something out. And we have 3 Liliana Specters. Great way to just get my opponents to discard a card. You have 2 Bone Shredders. Destroy non-artifact, non-black creature. I can pay the echo cost, but most of the time I don't, unless I have really nothing else to play, and just to give me some guard in the air. We have 1 Phyrexian Obliterator. This deck is based a lot around sacrifice. With the Phyrexian Obliterator, whenever it's dealt damage, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. And then we have a card called It That Betrays. Whenever a card is sacrificed, it comes onto the battlefield under my control. It also has Annihilator too, so whenever it attacks, my opponent sacrifices 2 permanents. We also have cards later on that you will see, such as Geth's Verdict, and again, Liliana of the Veil, that also help with that. We have 3 Despise, good hand control, as well as Duress, which is also good hand control. We have 1 Horrifying Revelation. The target player discards a card and puts the top card of his or her library into the graveyard. We have 2 Dark Rituals, just to give me some additional mana, maybe to play more than a couple of control cards at a time, or especially helps out with cards like Smallpox that are going to make me sacrifice land. Just being able to make my lands more useful for the turn. Smallpox is the card that my control deck was based around. Just the concept of it costing only 2 mana, but yet there's so much destruction going on. I just wanted to make a deck that was based and very similar to that. Unfortunately, in the update, had to get rid of 1. If anything, the Smallpox did kind of hurt me before, but now I think that with the elimination of the 1 and having more experience since I had originally made the deck, being able to know when to play this, it really helps out. But it's also just a great card. To me, anyways, I think it's an excellent card. 2 mana, each player loses 1 life. Discards a card, sacrifices a creature, and sacrifices a land. Just such destruction. And then again with the It That Betrays, everything that was sacrificed comes under play under my control. Then we have 3 Geth's Verdict. Target player sacrifices a creature and loses a life. And then this is another huge addition to the deck. Animate Dead. It's an enchantment. It costs 1 black, 1 colorless. You target a creature in a graveyard. Any creature, so not just your graveyard. You can target any graveyard. Any creature in the graveyard. But we have 3 of these, and you basically take control of that creature. So if you made your opponent sacrifice a huge creature, or you made them discard one, or maybe your opponent made you, or made me sacrifice or discard my It That Betrays or Phyrexian Obliterator, just play my Animate Dead. It comes out onto the battlefield under my control with a -1/-0, which is not really that big of a deal. Then we have two Sign in Blood, a good way to draw some cards or to make my opponent lose to. Then we have 3 Sadistic Sacraments. A lot of the times I don't get to do its kicker ability to make my to search my opponent's library for 15 cards and exile them. It's a lot of the time I just pay for the 3 black to make them exile 3 cards from their library of my choice. Great way to get rid of some nasty stuff in my opponent's decks. We have 2 Mutilate. Each creature, or all creatures, get -1/-1 for each swamp I control. And with cards like Liliana of the Dark Realms, which is also in this deck, being able to search my library for many swamps. Great card to do some board wiping with. Then we have 2 Diabolic Tutors. Basically just searching for anything that I feel is necessary at that given time, just to help give me the edge. We have a Black Sun Zenith. Put X -1/-1 counters on each creature, and this goes back into my library. Moving on into our Planeswalkers and the final part of my Master of Puppets deck, we have 1 Liliana of the Veil. We have 3 Planeswalkers in this deck, but 2 of which are Lilianas. I don't really see a need to put more than 1 Liliana of the Veil into this deck. But great way to bring her out and make an opponent sacrifice something just right off the bat, or each player discarding a card, and then I can eventually get to her ultimate ability to separate all permanents that my opponent controls. Then they sacrifice one of those piles, and then if I have my It That Betrays, all that they sacrifice comes to me. Liliana of the Dark Realms is a 1/of as well. Really just a great way to get some more lands out there, and hopefully make all those lands produce 4 mana rather than just 1. Then we have the big boy, Karn Liberated. Great control card, really. Being able to exile any permanent of my choice, and the ability to restart the game. I have actually gotten to do that a couple of times, and it was pretty fun, just the fact that I was doing it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is my Master of Puppets deck. Like I said, it's the updated version of my Black Plague mono black control deck that you can also find on my channel, which I will put a link in the description below if you want to check that out. Please go check out my other videos, my most recent ones being my Planeswalker collection and my 5-color Super Friends deck. Other than that, thank you to the people at Inked Customs, or Inked Playmats, for supplying me with the custom playmats. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll have another video up in the next couple of weeks. This is Vampire Nighthawk 2011. Take care, everybody.